What's up, everyone? This is Matt with Axiom Reviews. Today's music video reaction, NF Mansions. Gah! NF song Mansion. Now, I've heard it once before a long time ago. I never really paid attention to it, so I didn't really know what he was talking about. But this was one of the big ones that was requested of me to do after I just did intro. So I'm so far taking the NF journey to learn really who NF is. I've done a little bit of background research to know what he went through, the stuff that happened with his abuse, with his mom, and all that. So now I really want to know, in his words, how he's portrayed it, because he has such a big fan following. I really want to keep taking this dive in. So without waiting, Mansion, let's get it going.
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion.
All right, now I understand why it's Mansion. It's about his mind, that he has a mental house inside of his mind. All right.
Home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion.
Yo, my mind is a house with walls, covered in lyrics, they're all over the place. And songs in the mirrors, written all over the floors, all over the chairs, and you get the uncut version.
I like that he's talking about that his mind is a house, and on the walls, on the floor, on the furniture, it's riddled with lyrics. I know from therapy sessions he talks about that is his verses and how he raps, that's his therapy. That helps him with stuff that he went through. So knowing that his mind is riddled with those lyrics, that's a cool way to depict of how it looks.
Mirrors written all over the floors, all over the chairs, and you get the uncut version of life when I go downstairs. That's where I write when I'm in a bad place and need to release and let out the version of NF you don't want to see. I put holes in the walls with both of my fists till they bleed, and you might get a glimpse of how I cope with all this anger in me physically.
So in his mental mansion of inside of his mind, the downstairs is where he goes when he's emotional and not in a good way. But it seems like it's the downstairs is where you're gonna see those lyrics of him when he's angry, upset, just downright pissed off, sad. And I actually like the play on words there, because all those emotions, whether it's anger or sadness, that it's really you being down about yourself, down on yourself. You're feeling down. I like that it's the downstairs is where he goes when he's feeling down. That's a really good play on words.
To my fists till they bleed, and you might get a glimpse of how I cope with all this anger in me. Physically abused, now that's the room that I don't want to be in. That picture ain't blurry at all, I just don't want to see it. And these walls ain't blank, I just think I don't want to see them. But why not? I'm in here, so I might as well read them. I gotta...
Alright, so now he's given us a new section to his mansion in his mind. I do know about him being physically abused when he was younger, and now him talking about there's a specific place in his brain, in his mind, that holds those memories. And just like the rest of the mansion, it's riddled with lyrics, but these lyrics are not lyrics that you want to read. But he figures since he's in there, he might as well read them. If they're memories that he has that he doesn't want to have, but since he has them, he might as well use them. And that's how he's depicting this mansion. It's really like emotional compartmentalization at its absolute finest, as far as separating it off. And I also get that with what he's gone through and how he has these particular places in there. I get why he has a room for a place, like for the abuse, and he has a mansion around him, because it's like he's been through all that, and those are walls. Those are literally a mansion, a house. It's walls. He's built walls up as like kind of like protection because of what he's gone through.
Think I don't want to see him, but why not? I'm in here, so I might as well read him. I gotta thank you for this anger that I carry around. Wish I could take a match and burn this whole room to the ground. Matter of fact, I think I'ma burn this room right now. Somehow this memory for some reason just won't go down. Put me in the corner.
sorry for stopping so many times just going through this. I'm really wanting to break down as much as I can of his music to really understand what he's gone through and why he feels the way he does with his music. But him talking about how he wants to get rid of these memories. He wants to get rid of this room, regardless of him understanding that, well, I'm in this room, so I might as well go through these memories. He still wants to get rid of these memories. Like he said, he wants to burn this whole room down. I might as well burn it now. But for some reason, those memories won't leave. No matter how hard you try to suppress bad memories, you're never going to forget them. You can try as hard as you want to completely eradicate them out of your mind, but they're still going to be there.
Right now, somehow this memory for some reason just won't do it down. Put me in the corner so you could see the fear in my eyes. Then took me downstairs and beat me till I screamed and I cried. Congratulations, you'll always have a room in my mind, but I'ma keep the door shut and lock the lyrics inside.
Of him recapping on what happened, some of the things that had happened to him as far as being his abusers cornering him to make him feel afraid, and them dragging him downstairs so they could beat him. Now I realize it wasn't him talking about his mental downstairs or where he's angry. That's not just a play on words of he's downstairs in his mind because he's down on himself. That's actually a mental representation of what he went through physically. They drug him downstairs to beat him, so that downstairs, his mansion's downstairs is riddled with pain. It's just pure pain because of what literally had happened to him downstairs. And that was a place that they drug him, so that's a place that he didn't want to go. So that's actually a really, really sad but cool way of how he played it from one verse to the next, and with the dual meaning in that. And since he can't burn the room down, he's saying he's going to lock the doors, keep it suppressed, keep it contained. And that can be a benefit, but that can also hinder you over time.
But I'ma keep the door shut and lock the lyrics inside.
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion. Inside this mansion.
Yo, my mind is a house with walls covered in pain. See, my problem is I don't fix things, I just try to repaint, cover them up.
His house is with walls covered in pain. He recently just said there were walls covered in lyrics, but now they're walls covered in pain, which I know with his therapy sessions song, his pain and his lyrics go hand in hand. His music goes with his pain. It's his therapy, so that would make sense why it goes hand in hand with it. Why the walls are riddled with lyrics, but the walls are riddled with pain. But also him saying he's not fixing anything. He just tries to repaint. He's trying to cover up his issues, trying to mask what's going on, trying to mask his pain. And that's never a good option. It just leads to more problems, more separation from people, more potential trust issues, and more fear to let anyone in. And I think he's talking about, like, he knows of what he's doing, and he knows that it's not the proper way, but he knows that of what he's doing to try to counteract his issue.
Covered in pain. See, my problem is I don't fix things, I just try to repaint, cover them up like it never happened. Say I wish I could change. Are you confused? Come upstairs and I'll show you what I mean. This room's full of regrets, just keeps getting fuller it seems. Moment I walk into it's the same moment that I wanna leave. I get sick to my stomach every time I look at these things, but it's hard to look.
The room that he's now presenting is this room full of regrets. It's the part in everyone's mind. I think regardless if anyone's ever been through what NF has been through, or worse, or hasn't been through that kind of stuff, everyone has a mental compartment in the brain full of the regrets they have in life. Things, decisions that they've done, places that they should have gone, people they should have talked to, what they could have done, what they should have done, the road not taken. Everyone has those regrets. And it's always a place that, as life keeps going on, you think that you can only have so many regrets, but you'll always have regrets happen here and there. And so that room is always continuously filling up. And that's where it's a room that he goes to and he hates being in, because no one likes to sit there and think about the regrets. No one likes to sit in that part of the brain.
That I wanna leave. I get sick to my stomach every time I look at these things, but it's hard to look past when this is the room where I sleep. I look around.
Oh, okay. It's hard to look past because that's the room where he sleeps. That tells even more, because what's the room in your brain where you sleep? That's your dreams. So even consciously and subconsciously, he can't get away from his regrets. And that might even play into when in his song intro, talking about his drive and him being at the studio till, writing lyrics and creating beats till 3 a.m. That and he hardly ever sleeps. When he does, it feels like it doesn't sleep. Maybe this is the reason why. Maybe this is touching base on that as to why that's happening.
I look at these things, but it's hard to look past when this is the room where I sleep. I look around, one of the worst things I wrote on these walls was the moment I realized that I was losing my mom. And one of the first things I wrote was I wish I would have called, but I should just stop now. We ain't got enough room in this song. And I regret the...
Yeah, I could understand that would be a big potential regret for NF. I feel with anyone that loses a family member or a loved one or anyone in general to something that potentially could have been prevented and could have been prevented from an outside source, like particularly a family member, a son, a daughter, a father, naturally those forms of regret are going to pour through your brain when you see that loved one pass and you think, could I have done something? Could I have changed? If I'd have just made one phone call, if I'd have just talked to them or done something, could I have helped them? And that does tend to cause regret in people. And that can just cause even more stress and more issues emotionally.
I wish I would have called, but I should just stop now. We ain't got enough room in this song. And I regret the fact that I struggle trying to find who I am. And I lie to myself and say I do the best that I can. Shrug it off like it ain't nothing, like it's out of my hand. And get ticked off whenever I see it affecting my plans. And I regret watching these trust issues eat me alive. And at the rate I'm going, I'll probably still be there when I die. Congratulations, you'll always have a room in my mind. The question is, will I ever clean the walls off in time?
In city.
All right, so that whole verse of him talking about how he regrets, the trust issues he has. He regrets that he masked these issues and he lies to himself saying, I'm good, I'm fine. And then it catches up with him, and then he regrets it because he regrets even doing that because now it's caught up with him and it's hindering him even more. It's like that. It's like the whole phrase where you have a bad emotion, you don't talk about it, you don't vent about it, you don't try to cope with it and figure out how to live with it. You bottle it up, and eventually enough emotion balls up, and that bottle pops. So that's definitely what he's talking about, of him regretting the way that he has bottled this kind of stuff up and sectioned it off to where he thinks he's fine. He lies to himself saying he's fine, but in reality, eventually that his issues are going to catch back up with him. And going towards the end of that verse, him saying, congratulations, you'll always have a spot in my mind. He's talking straightforward to the people that abused him. Congrats, you did this to me, and now I have to live with what you did for the rest of my life. Now I might even have this till the day I die, but those walls that are riddled with pain. Now the question is rather than just painting over those walls continuously to mask it, before the day I die, will I be able to actually fix these walls? Will I actually be able to fix myself with what happened?
The question is, will I ever clean the walls off in time?
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion. Inside this mansion.
So this part of my house, no one's been in it for years. I built a safe room and I don't let no one in there. Cause if I do, there's a chance that they might disappear and not come back. And I admit, I am emotionally scared to let anyone inside, so I just leave.
So now in a new room in the house, now it's a room that no one else is allowed in. It's a safe room that he built. And now this is, as I said, building these rooms, building this mansion, it's setting up mental and emotional walls of not letting people in and building those kind of trust issues of not letting someone come in because that they might hurt you, they might leave, something bad might happen. And now and even further in that, he has his safe room. And so it's not just the mansion, not just the rooms, it's his safe room where no matter how many, some people may be able to get into his mansion, he may talk to some people about his issues, but he will never let anyone in that room. That is his true, those are his final walls that he won't let anyone in. And in doing so, that may help you in the short run of keeping yourself protected, but in the long run, that can really make you develop because you feel that protection, that can really make you develop a fear of releasing that protection, of opening up to potential vulnerability. Because vulnerability can cause bad emotional trauma, but it can also lead to some of the best emotional benefits possible. And it's that fear of not wanting to open it up once you have that protection. So having it, you could build a fear to ever even wanting to bring someone in. Or you could want to bring someone in, but you're too afraid to let them.
And I come back and I admit I am emotionally scared to let anyone inside, so I just leave my doors locked. You might get other doors to open up, but this door's not, cause I don't want you to have the opportunity to hurt me. And I'll be the only person that I can blame when you desert me. I'm barricaded inside, so stop watching. I'm not coming to the door, so stop knocking. Stop knocking. I'm trapped here. God keeps saying I'm not locked. I chose this. I am lost in my own conscience. I know that shutting the world out ain't solving the problem, but I didn't build this house because I thought it would solve them. I built it.
Exactly. He knows it. He knows and accepts. Like, he didn't build it to solve his problems. He didn't build this mansion and build these rooms, build this safe room to solve his issues. He built it to protect himself. Sometimes you do things that you know in the long run are not beneficial to you, but right now it's going to help you. It's going to protect you. It's a temporary fix. It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Like, temporarily, forever, how many minutes or days, months, years, it may prove beneficial. Eventually it's not. You get a declining benefit from it, and eventually it can turn into a true negative.
Solving the problem, but I didn't build this house because I thought it would solve them. I built it because I thought that it was safer in there, but it's not. I'm not the only thing that's living in here. Fear came to my house years ago. I let him in. Maybe that's a problem because I've been dealing with this ever since.
Said that since he built those walls, built that safe house or safe room, fear came in. And that's what I said. If you have a safe room and if you keep those walls up for long enough, you develop a fear. You develop a fear for letting people in. And that fear can actually control you more than the walls that you put up will. And fear is a very, very powerful human emotion, and it can drive you to do things that are far worse than just putting up walls.
House years ago, I let him in. Maybe that's a problem because I've been dealing with this ever since. I thought that he would leave, but it's obvious he never did. He must have picked a room and got comfortable and settled in. Now I'm in a position it's either sit here and let him win or put him back outside where it came from, but I never can. Cause in order to do that, I'd have to open the doors. Is that me or the fear talking? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, just that ending verse, he has a decision to make. He can either open the doors and kick fear out, but that still means he'd have to open the door. And he doesn't know if he's mentally ready to do that. And he questions, is that me talking or is that just the fear talking? Because it can be such a driving force once you go through something traumatic and you develop that protection, whether it's a good proper form of protection or it's an improper form of protection. If it's working temporarily, you don't want to get rid of it. You're afraid of not having that protection. And that fear will drive you to continue doing that, having that protection and not working with your issues, fixing your issues, coping with your issues, and learning. And if you can't fix, work, or cope with them, learning to just at least live with your issues in a healthy manner. And bravo, NF. That song is. I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm going down the whole rabbit hole. He's too dang good. Like, he puts out a message that I haven't seen other rappers really ever put out at such an emotional level, and that can connect with so many different people on an emotional level. Like, not everyone has been through what he's been through. Not everyone's been through or some people have been through worse. Some people haven't been through anything that he's been through. But still, everyone can connect on a certain level to his music, and it talks to everyone. And I have to say, you know what? I give that a 10 out of 10. If I were going to rate music videos or just songs, I give that a 10 out of 10. And tip my hat again to NF, and I can't wait to do the next one to keep continuing my NF journey down that rabbit hole. So yeah, solid work, NF. Alright guys, so that was my music video reaction to NF's Mansion. I loved it. That song can connect to anyone on any level, depending on what they've gone through in life. It really doesn't even matter. Everyone's done something or gone through something or regret something that this song can speak to them. I absolutely fell in love with NF's music, and this even further solidifies it. I'm going to continue going down the rabbit hole. But if you guys liked my music video reaction, click that like button for me, click subscribe for future music video reactions, and also comment down below. Let me know of other songs that you guys want me to do. I'm going to continue doing this NF journey, but I'm also going to be doing other music videos of multiple genres as well. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys would like to have me react to. I absolutely love doing this. I can't wait to get your guys' comments and do more, because at the end of the day, this is just really fun to do and discover new music and fall in love with new music that I've never listened to before. So click that like button, click the subscribe button for future videos. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you guys would like to see me do, whether it be music video reactions, movie reviews, movie trailer reactions. I don't care. I love doing this. Feed me more, because I want to keep doing this and I very much enjoy it. But that's it, guys. I'll see y'all next time.